Hello, my angels and devils, and all who may want to hear Fiona Jane. Look away now if you do not want my challenge entries to your challenge to be spoiled. I'm telling you now, go away. Look elsewhere. Also, do not watch my 100 Things reboot until you get this, otherwise you'll have your entries spoiled. So run along. Run along. Bye. Okay. Now that Fiona's not watching, we hope. I mean, if she wants to see it, that's fine. I'm just like, this was my first thing that I made for her challenge. Now, the thing is, I don't have a favourite craft because what happens with me is I get on little kicks where I want to make something, or an idea occurs to me, and suddenly I'm making this thing. So I had these big chipboard tags from Maya Road that were an album, and I had thought, oh, I want to make an album to go with them. And if you watched my last live stream, I shared part of that album. And the thing is, the tags were too thick and a little too high. So I ended up making tags to go in that album. And I was looking at one of the tags going, what if I could do a loaded tag? And thus this was born. I'm not sure how good it is. Like, I feel a bit iffy on it at times, but basically I just added some bits and pieces to it. Like, it's stuffed. I've got some nice trims because I know Fiona loves paper crafts. There's lots of just different things. I'm not going to spoil it all just in case Fiona does watch it, but I basically just went through and made a loaded pocket, but as a tag. I just thought that would be super fun. Then I watched some of her entries, and I kind of felt a bit iffy about that after watching those. And I had been watching my friend Roxy Carr, and make sure you click that little I button and it will give you a little thing to go to her channel, or look below in the description box and I'll make sure to link Roxy's channel, because Roxy has been making these a gorgeous album using tea bag pockets. Now, I had a linen album. I actually have two from when I had my inheritance, and I got I think 3 of the Maya Road mystery boxes, and so I got a couple of these linen albums, and you can't even really see the linen. You can kind of see it in through here, but they're just 2 page, or yeah, so you get 2, 4, 6, 8 sort of decorative pages. Now, I am not a fabric crafter. I do bears and stuff, and I can make outfits for my bears, like if I hand sew them onto the bear, but I'm not such a big textiles fabricy person. I love collecting it. I love nerdy fabrics. They're my weakness. Unfortunately, I don't get to go to Spotlight anymore and just buy a 1/4 meter of each one that I like when they're on special. So there's no My Little Pony fabric in my collection. There's not enough Star Wars. There's no Doctor Who. It's very sad. One day I'll get to do that stuff again, or have the money to take where spending $10 to get there is, yeah. Anyway, so that's neither here nor there. So what I sat down this morning and today, look, I started last night, and I haven't been well. If you've checked my Facebook, if you've seen my Facebook or my Twitter, you'll understand why these videos are a bit late. So I sat down with this book and I pulled out some ephemera, some of my fabric flowers. I made this little flower, and I'm going to actually include this in my 100 Things challenge, because I'm rebooting that, because Dances with Pitbulls has just started a new one, and I think I went a little nuts thinking about the no spend thing, and I just, yeah, I need to calm my farm on that stuff. So this is a Fab Scraps gem. I bought some, they were ridiculously expensive, and you can get this similar thing on eBay and places we shall not name for very, very cheap. Like, I paid a ridiculous amount for a little tin of 50 of them, but it was when I was trying to get something from each. I went on a kick of trying to get things from different brands, but I have them in my stash. I had this Melissa Francis pleated trim, which I used, I'm pretty sure, on my Gorgeous Girl Shaker. So I made, with the rest of it, I made a few flowers. So that's one of the flowers. There's these are petaloo. That's just a random flower. These are just like little ribbon roses. A couple of pieces of the ephemera from the thing. Now, most of the lace in this is stuff I've picked up at secondhand shops, or I've gotten cheap off eBay or other places. or it's come to me in swaps and things. I couldn't tell you where most of it has come from. This pleated one was from Tattered Inspirations back when she had a store, and was selling, well, when she was closing her store, and I just picked up a bag of it and some other stuff. Just some pearl trim. There's good in every day, because I figured that that's a good reminder. We all need that reminder sometimes. This is something I must have got a heap of these little bow things for bears or something years ago, and so I still have some that I'm using up. Another rose, and then it says beautiful, and then a piece of ephemera from that. I used 2 different ephemera packs, the fairies and mermaids, and then I can't remember what this range is called for the life of me. I didn't actually have a look. Then I tried to get on my danglies sort of like Roxanne talks about how it builds up into a nice dangle, so I was trying to make sure I did that a little. Then I have the mermaid here with some more of this trim, but in a cream and sort of up a bit higher, and I tried to layer my laces. I am not very good at layering, I'm going to be honest with that, so I just did the mermaid here, and then may all your wishes come true, and then that is lace that I've put around that to sort of make it like a rosette. And then we've got some dangly trim, and then you open it up and you have a unicorn with I believe in you. And I thought sometimes you have a really bad day, and I know Fiona Jane struggles with a chronic illness, so I thought that it would be nice just to have something to flip through or to look at and know that people believe in her, and that, you know, just a few little things to remind you. Sparkle every day. Another one of my handmade flowers. If you heard that ding, that is my dinner. A fairy, and then the back just says you are so loved, because she is, and she's a lovely person. So, and there's this little dangle here. I cannot believe I got some of this lace for 20 cents at an op shop. It's vintage, it's beautiful, and I had to use a piece. And I just thought with the other dangles, it would just look really pretty down the bottom. So Roxanne said, like, as you build it up, and I'm no Roxy. Roxy can build layer upon layer of lace and have it look amazing. I looked through what I had and I worked with what I had. So that is what I had. So this is my entry into Fiona Jane's your favorite craft. Now, here's the thing. My favorite crafts tend to be things, I like to try new things. This was a new project for me. This was something different for me, but a twist on something I had already done. I get on kicks where I'll make pocket letters or flip books or albums or bears, whatever it may be. My next kick has to be stuff for my Etsy store, but I will do a separate video on that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm rambling. I'm not well, but I'm working on it. I'm resting a lot, drinking lots of fluids, trying to keep the dizzy at bay, and even doing little things. Like I had to nap after I finished this, which is really embarrassing to say sometimes, but sometimes we just have to go with what our body is telling us. Anyway, I hope you're well, and I hope life is treating you well, and if not, remember that this too shall pass. As always, remember you are amazing, you are incredible, and yes, you truly do matter. I'll talk to you all soon, my angels and devils. Bye!